It's a very complicated world out here. I get questioned all the time, every day. A peaceful life. You're 51 years old. How is it that you don't you? How's it you're single? Don't you want to be in a relationship? And my answer usually is for what? To achieve what objective? What exactly am I supposed to get out of a relationship? See, for most guys my age, we've been married before. We've been pretty successful in our career. I retired, was able to retire early. I have boys to carry on my legacy. And I have a active social life and involvement. I don't smoke. I don't drink. And I'm usually in bed by about 9 o'clock at night. I get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, where you see I make these videos and I put up on the internet. So the question I ask, especially a guy with established legacy, I have boys. They're very successful. They're all educated. You see those plaques on the wall where there's education for you ladies that say you're broke or whatever else, or women don't care about you or whatever else. It becomes a complicated situation when you have worked hard to build a life for yourself and established a certain level of peace in your life. I have absolute freedom and autonomy over my life and the decision. If today, tomorrow, I want to walk out, I want to go to the dealership and buy me a Benz tomorrow, I don't have to consult anybody. I've made 2, 3 videos today. I speak my mind. I'm free. I say and do whatever I want within the confines of the law. This freedom, this autonomy. I have an active social life. There's no shortage of people around me. So I have a life that I enjoy quite very much. And I'm very free. See, it's that freedom that men that are active, men that are social, men have developed themselves, men have worked hard. I'm in the gym almost 6, 7 days a week sometimes. Just even if I just go in there and just walk on the treadmill, get on the elliptical or do the bike or whatever else. So I have an active. Again, this is the way I live right now. I am a peaceful sexual. I don't have to consult with anybody. And I certainly don't have to deal with anybody's problems, anybody's emotions, anybody's past trauma. You see, as men, we're forced to accept the reality of world. People, we troll each other anywhere. I walk into the police station, even though I'm a retired guy. They're saying, here goes that big, tall, goofy MFer. I'm like, we're not delusional. Every day we're reminded of things, the truth. We're living a reality of life as a man. Very pragmatic. And as you get older, your wisdom grows if you're developing yourself and if you live in reality. Women are not like us. You understand? That's why you see all these women on online just putting out delusional things. Young Miami talking about she want a man that make $100 million. I mean, obviously that's ratchet culture, but baby mama of two different men getting pissed on by Diddy. In her mind, she thinks she deserves. Lisa Ray thinks that a man wants to be a provider for a woman that can't even bear him no children. Right? It's old woman. Shinyu, leftover woman. Menopausal, past that. But in her mind, because of the culture and the way society is designed, she believes that some dude wants to just come over there and take his hard-earned money and spend on her. And what you see out here in the culture too is a lot of women expect men to be providers for women that are past their prime. They're not building any legacy, not building any family with them. So for a man, the need spectrum is different. Companionship is the only value for a man my age. If I desired that, which is easy to get. The problem with women my age is when they meet a guy like me, the first thing they start talking about is marriage. Marriage. Well, what happened to the last marriage you had? And the majority of women that I meet, I find that in some way or some form, they have disrespected their way out of relationships, or they're completely and utterly delusional. I can't mess with the young women like that on a serious level because they want a peaceful life to make babies with them. Kick rocks. I've raised 2 boys already. I ain't getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning unless it's going to the gym. I don't care how good that box is. I ain't having no babies with no women. I'm old. I'm retired. I am not trying to restart the clock. I ain't gonna be in here 50 years old, 55, a peaceful life, walking around pushing a stroller. Kick rocks. I'm retired. I'm not going back to work unless I'm gonna work for myself. And I love it. This is the freedom that I have. And I'm certainly, you see what happens too is with men, with women, when we get married when we're young, we're building our legacy, we're building our brand, we get with that woman in her youth. You see, old men, young men are attracted to the same type of woman. That's why Bill Belichick has the young girl with him, okay? Because we're attracted to the same damn thing, youth, beauty, and fertility. It's nature, ladies. It's not personal. A peaceful life at 51 and a peaceful life at 26 is attracted to the same youthful body in a woman. Now, the only exception to that, if that is that a woman has been with you for so many years, she's aged with you, she's grown old with you, she's had your babies. That Syrian scar that's on her belly is yours. That episiotomy is yours. The stretch marks is yours. They buried your children. This woman is putting time with you. You remember her as the 25-year-old version of herself, even though she's 50. But when a new woman comes into your environment, it don't look the same. It don't feel the same if she's old like you. And for men, they don't tell women that. And now there's some women that are taking really good care of themselves. They stay in shape, they hit the gym, they work out. But then many times with those women, they have this mindset and this mentality, and they come with the attitude of the 25-year-old version of themselves, making demands, men should pay all the bills, and I am not paying a whole bunch of bills for no leftover women. You may get half the bills paid. I'm not paying your bills. Why don't you have money? You're old just like me. You should not be broke. You've had all this time to make money. Even if you probably divorce raped your husband, where's that money going? A peaceful life is not going to sponsor the life. I am not a poverty alleviation specialist. I'm not here to alleviate you from your brokenness, your poverty. I'm nobody's retirement plan. Kick rocks. If you're old like me, you should have money. You're not gonna let me I'm not gonna get away with not having money. If I want to go date one of these young women who only want old men for their money, yes, ladies, we know, but you old women want old men for their money too. Stop it. You're gold digging just like the young ones gold digging. It's not a fact. I haven't seen the difference between the 26-year-old ones and the 56-year-old ones. All of y'all are hooked on the drug called delusion. And attention is the most dangerous drug in America. You're all delusional. And right now, do I want to deal with a 45-year-old, 50-year-old woman who thinks like a 23-year-old? Because that's what happens with arrested development and social media and an army of jellyback simps telling women how wonderful they are. So it comes back full circle. Being single becomes incidental at my age. Women, they see you, they see your value, they want you to marry them. Kick rocks. I will not be signing any contracts with the state to marry no Xinyu women. Now, if you want to chill, let me go to the beach. Maybe we can take 4 months and travel during the winter months or whatever. You good with me. You have your own money, I got my own money. I'm old, you old. Nah, well, we'll see. Depends on what you look like. Because I'm not coming to you all fat and out of shape and belly hanging all over the place, and I don't have any titties and shit hanging down. I'm a guy who goes and works out and takes care of my body, takes care of myself, takes care of my health. So the problem becomes is these women have these expectations of men, and they're older women that have lived their life. And they come in here many times, they have this mindset mentality that they're 23 because they have this arrested development. Not all women are like this. But generally speaking, why are they single is the question. I understand why men be single because a lot of times, many times, divorce rate is high and women just get bored in relationships and want out. They think that they can do better. And they come out here in this Serengeti, especially with social media, juicing them up, thinking that they can get a better man. But the guys that are single, that I don't go on dating apps. I'm not going to be hanging out at singles event. The guys that are single like myself, then we're not going to, we really want to know what happened to the last guy. Because you're not single for a reason. And very few men out here letting go of good women. Why are you single? And what is it that I'm getting or going to discover that the other 30, 40 men before me have not? So you're dealing with the trauma, the baggage, the issues. I don't care how, therapy doesn't help them. They just become better victims. They sit down there on the couch and they talk to a therapist who gets, and he has to reaffirm their excuses in life. Because if he actually challenged them to get better, they will stop paying him. So it's the customer's always right therapy. They haven't gotten any better. In fact, many of them have a serious case of arrested development, victimhood. They're professional, lifelong victim. Because in this society, it is a gynocentric female society where they pander to women. We make excuses for them. They never hold themselves accountable for anything. Unlike us, who gets a peaceful life, foot get put to the fire. So I have to improve. I have to develop myself. I have to become better. They don't. They just become better victims over time. You can have a 60-year-old victim. Look at Lisa Ray. Look at Vivica Fox. They're all delusional. Men is always the problem. It's the men that wronged them. The reason why they left their ex-husband because he was a this, and that. You talk to the guy, he's the most stand-up guy ever. Or, how many guys have they been dating or being with? So they want to get married. That's what they want. They want you to marry them. And they use the church, they use religion. Well, I don't be out here sleeping around or having sex. I'm celibate. Yeah, I get it. Do it. That's the good thing. You do you. But you can be celibate, but there's also, prior to your celibacy, 50, 60 bodies, maybe 100. So if somebody wants to take that deal, knock yourself out, gentlemen. There's always a Boyce Watkins waiting at the end of the rainbow. That ain't a peaceful life. I am not marrying these leftover Shingyu women. We can hang out at the beach. We can go walking in the walking trails. We can even travel together. We can spend great times and become great companions. But I'm not going to be signing no contracts with the state because there's nothing in it for me. They'll come at, well, peaceful life. What about you getting old? Who's going to take care of you? You ever seen old people? Many times they sleep in a different room. See, I have the privilege of being part with law enforcement. Let me tell you something. People die alone. In fact, when they die, many times they shit themselves. They sleep in different rooms. And again, loneliness is how you feel. Robin Williams talk about it. It's not about being alone. It's about being around. It can be in a room full of people and be alone. Be married and be alone. You can be lonely and be married, but it's the people around you that make you be a room full of people that make you feel alone because of the way they treat you and how they respond to you. Every unattended death that I've been to has been somebody who died alone. Guy died in a heart on his car. Guy dies on the train, on the bus. Guy dies in the house when everybody was out to work that day. His wife was away in the park and he dies. He's sitting in the park and he dies. Very rarely do I see anybody die in the company of people. And some people, when they get old, they wish they were dead because there ain't nobody that's supposed around them. The wife, he can't stand her. She sleeps in the other room. He hates her guts. The kids, they don't call him anymore and don't talk to him. That's not my reality. But you're going to die alone and you're going to crap your pants more than likely, especially if you have a heart attack. So skip that die alone bullshit. And 9 times out of 10, if you get into a relationship or a second marriage with these parasitic women, you're going to wish you were dead. After you deal with her bullshit and her baggage and her micromanagement and her extraction of resources and spending all day with her and her past trauma and all the demons that have been in her from all those men that have enjoyed themselves with her over the time period. And she's going to try and make you suffer for the sins of other men that were not yours. Who wants to deal with that bullshit? Now we go back full circle. Being single gives you freedom. Being single gives you choices, the autonomy, the freedom to choose what you do with your finances, the freedom to choose what you do with travel, with doing anything in your life. This is 100% my corporation, A Peaceful Life Incorporated. My house, my car, my resources, my funds, my pension. And I can reallocate those resources to my kids, my grandkids, the legacy that I have established with my DNA. I don't have to sit around at Thanksgiving with some single mom and her kids or be married to somebody and pass my resources on to somebody else's DNA. That's not mine. My resources be used for her kids that she's had by other men, or whatever you can say, pension, or whatever you can say about writing up wills and contracts and prenup. I ain't getting into none of that shit. I'm not putting the government in my life. There's no need for me to take those types of risks at my age and expose myself to an almost 70% divorce rate as a second marriage, or even take the chance or be around and living with women who have proven they cannot stay committed in relationships, or proven that they cannot be loyal to men, and live on social media, live on their feelings and emotions, or who brings the drama and the issues. I don't care what's going on with your job. I don't care what's going on with your cousin Mook Mook, or Day Day, or Rusty of your white, or whatever, if you're Asian or whatever. I don't care I don't want to know what's going on in your family. If anything, I'm gonna say like Uncle Earl, bring your happy ass over here. Let me spank it and take your ass home. I ain't trying to be finding out anything that's going on with your life that is going to irritate me. You see, at this age, I care about smiles. If it ain't put a smile on my face, you can kick rocks. This is a what? I would say at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth. And trust me, I don't need to take any unnecessary risk of doing stupid shit when I'm peaceful and I'm happy. I mean, I did my 2 miles today in 17 minutes flat on the treadmill. So I'm not worried about, I'm in a good mood. I'm about to head out back and go walk at the river right now and enjoy a nice, beautiful Sunday evening to myself. When I want company, I make a phone call. When I don't, I don't. That's what freedom is. I get performance. When I deal with women, I get performance out of them. If they don't perform, I get rid of them. Period. I don't have to negotiate or compromise performance, or these guys who deal with, women and their attitudes and their behaviors towards them. That's why I'm always high energy. I'm always up in the morning early, ready to go to the gym, ready to work out, ready to get my day started. Can't wait for the markets open, because I don't have any irritation in my life. And if people are going to try and use the God stick and all this other stuff, get out of here, kick rocks, go save some souls elsewhere. A peaceful life don't need you to save his soul. I'm at peace with God, period. Then try and save those 304s at the church, period. I know what the church is. I don't go there, because there ain't nothing in there but a bunch of rebranded 304s as far as I'm concerned. Grifting in there, using religion to try and backdoor relationship, or as a coping mechanism for the poor mismanagement of youth. That ain't my business. Anyhow, video went on longer than possible. There's really no need for me to do that. Now, if I may go overseas somewhere and, where their laws are favorable and, have a, maybe by living with a chick and have some pragmatic arrangement, I can do that. But I already know it's transactional in some type of way, because at the end of the day, what is left at this age in terms of people are not in it for love or anything like that. Love is for when you're young, when you're in your 20s and stuff like that. And there's a new beginning, especially when you meet when you're nice and broke. That's the best time to find love, when you're young. But at this advanced age where these women are, I accept my reality. You don't see me down the basketball court trying to do no dunks. I don't even play ball no more. You see that guy on the wall back there? He is gone. Unlike delusional women my age, I know the reality of life. I'm not trying to be out here charging MSRP for used box and used vehicles or used products or whatever else. Period. I don't do those crap. My son plays ball. He has NIL. I played in the Big East. I can't go back and get NIL. They'll tell me, you old, bald-headed, crazy man, get the hell off this campus. So what makes these old women think that they can go back and get men that have something going for themselves to be wifing them up and stuff? That'd be like me trying to get some NIL at an old-ass dude like me. They're like, kick rocks, dude. You crazy. That's the reality of what I talk. You see how realism that I live in? Worse than having a delusional young person is when somebody is my age and they're delusional, and you're talking to a mature adult male like me. That's why these women, they got arrested. They talk to guys like me, and you look them in the eye, and you hear that delusion out of a grown-ass, middle-aged, grandma-type age woman, and it just your soul just sink, and you say, damn, this is what the universe has come to. It's supposed to be a certain mindset and mentality that comes with age. I don't see it out here. Otherwise, you wouldn't see goofy women like Vivica and Lisa Ray out here talking about provider men and stuff like that with them old blown out cat trying to get premium MSRP instead of going find old Mr. Walker down at the park and you go chill out and enjoy your life together. You're talking goofy shit that 23-year-old women should be talking. I don't talk like that. And that's what you're dealing with. So for most men, being single becomes incidental. You get the freedom, the autonomy, and you don't have to listen to this goofy shit. Unless you're like a needy, low self-esteem guy that hates his own company. I'm in love with my own company. I am passionately in love with a peaceful life. Trust me. I can spend all day, all week by myself, entertaining myself. I am never bored because pre-owned is just a phone call away. That's the way I operate. That's why I'm never lonely. So I don't understand. Loneliness for most men is just horniness turned upside down. And many times you go ahead and take on one of these women. As soon as you unload your sack and you look at what you've just consumed and the burden and of the beast that comes with that individual in that vessel, you're probably going to go into a serious state of post-nut clarity depression, and you're going to be praying to God for the restoration of your freedom again after you've seen the price that you had to pay for that nut. And you're going to say to yourself, man, I could have just hired me an escort or a working girl for the night and skipped all this bullshit. But you were horny, and you were thinking to yourself, if I have a relationship, I can have this reliable, affectionate, loving person that can... Nope, person turns into a damn parasite. I've seen it happen over and over again. And the man himself loses his identity and it becomes a beast of burden in his life. So you got to think deeper than your emotions or your feelings or your hormones. And what is the longevity? What is the purpose of this stuff that you're doing? And what value are you getting in the distance? That's what men got to get out of that shit. It's an adaptation phase you have to understand. If it was so valuable, some other guy would have taken it. What you think some guy's going to leave something that's good out here, especially if it looks good? I'm of the philosophy is whenever I see that dude's running from the scene of the crime, I ain't hanging around. Whatever you see a bunch of dudes running this way, I run that way too. Whatever that dude is, again, no matter how good looking they get, you see a guy somewhere who cannot stand their ass. I know it. We all have exes. And when you see the new dude with her, you're like, he has no idea. You just smile. You just smile and you just look at him like that dude's about to get his balls clipped. And he's about to get tortured. I started off with a full head of hair until I got into relationships. Torture. That dude's about to get ate up, and he doesn't even know it. But anyhow, I've talked too long. Peace and blessings to you guys, but enjoy your life. Sometimes you think you're missing something. Go watch couples therapy. Trust me, you'll be reinvigorated. You'll be hugging trees. You'll be swimming in that ice cold water outside. I have water in the back of my house. You'll be doing some weird shit, running up down the street, motivated to go to the gym. That shit get me motivated. I watch about 2 minutes of that shit. I'm like, oh shit, I better go outside and thank God that I'm free. I'm on some spiritual, some Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. When I watch that couples therapy. Anyhow, peace and blessings to you guys. I'm out. But that's my story. I'm finished with that. I'm out. Make sure you guys hit the like button.